Hi everyone, this is Selena and thanks for joining my class. I wanted to give an overview of Design Space so that you know where all the tools are. So this class is just to go over everything, and it's not going to be in specifics, but just to kind of show you what all the tools do and where you can find them. So let's get started. Looking at Design Space, the green box here, once you sign in, you're going to see your name. And so if you click on that, you'll have the account details. So when you click on that, you can change your account information. Cartridge linking, if you have cartridges that you need to link to your account. Firmware updates, any type of updates that need to be updated, you can click here. Calibration for print to cut is located here, and then to log out. Next, right underneath the Cricut logo is Untitled Document, because I haven't saved this document or this project. So when you go in to save the project, whatever you name it will be located right here. And I'm going to start at the top. So this file folder, if you click on that, this first one is projects, which are going to be the projects in Make It Now. The next one over is new projects. If you're working on something and you save it and you want to create something new, you would click on this one. This one is to open a project that you've already saved. And this one here is grayed out. But if I was currently working on something and I wanted to, let's say it was already saved and I was going to start a new project, that I wanted to have a particular image that I had already manipulated or created in this current project, but I wanted to bring it into my new project, I would click Save As, and it would just open up another one. It would duplicate the project, and then you can change the name, and then you can make your changes in that using the images that you already had in that particular project. And I use that because as of right now, you can't bring in an image that you've created into another project. So this is my workaround to do that. And then here you just have the regular save. This one here is to undo anything, and it would be darker if I had an image in here and if I made a mistake or if I did something I didn't want to do, you would click undo. And then the same for redo. If I decided I needed that step back, I would just click redo. Cut is to pretty much take that image. Let me give you an example. Honestly, I never use cut. I always use copy. But cut, if I click on cut, it's going to disappear. And then I would paste it somewhere else. But like I said, I never use the cut option. I just always use copy or duplicate, which is found here at the bottom of the layers panel. And then paste, if I cut or copied it and I wanted to paste it somewhere else. But like I said, I don't use it. I never use cut, and I don't ever use paste. I always use either copy or duplicate. And then select all. If I had more than one image, let's insert another one. Select all is just going to highlight those images. If I had 5, 10, however many, it would select them all. And then you can do whatever you needed to do, whether it was to group them or attach them. Arrange, if you click on that, let me actually hold, going to ungroup this. So this first one is showing you that whatever layer you have highlighted, you click this one, it's going to move the image to the back one layer. So if I had 5 layers and this hat was in the front, it's going to move to the second layer. And if I click on this one, it's going to move one layer up. This one here is going to move that particular layer all the way to the back. So if I had 10 layers and it was at the front, it's going to be the 10th layer. And the same for this one. If I had the image selected and it was, let's say, 6 layers down, it's going to move it all the way to the front. Then you have your go button to proceed with the cutting or printing. Over here to the right, far right, is your edit panel. If I click on that, it's going to bring this up. This is going to show my height, my width, to rotate, to mirror, or flip the position of my image. Same thing for texts. The edit box is going to show me my font, whether I want it regular, bold, italic, the size, the alignment. If I wanted to break it apart, right now it's grouped together, this is going to separate it. The letter spacing, line spacing, the size, which is the width and the height, and then same thing, rotate, mirror, and the position. The layers panel is this one here. So if I clicked on it, it's going to hide. Same thing for the edit. So if you're ever working on a project and you don't see your panels for your edit, layers, sync, or canvas, just go right up here. They're just hidden, so you would just click on these. The sync, color sync panel is going to show you all your colors. If you had tons of different shades of green, let's say I didn't want to cut this lighter green, I wanted it to be the same as this darker green, I would just drag it down, put it right there, and you see that change the color. Just kind of helps you with organizing and consolidating your colors. And then lastly, on the up here, you see this one's grayed out because I don't have a canvas set. And I'll go ahead and show you that now just because we're going over these buttons up here to the far upper right corner. The canvas panel is very helpful. Let's move all of these. This is very helpful when you're working on something and you need help with the sizing. Right now I just used the basic shapes. So let's say I was working on a 4x6 card. And let's say I already have the card base made, so I don't need to cut it out. As you can see, I just clicked unlocked so that I can do a custom size. You see that it changed to a 4x6 rectangle. So now I could place my images wherever I need them and not have to worry about that card base. I mean, I can add a rectangle in there, but in the end I'm going to have to hide it or delete it. And just know that when you have a canvas set, this will never cut out. This is just there for you to work and use as a template. It's never going to cut out. You can change the color. So you're working with lighter images and you want it to show up better. You can change the colors. Another good thing too, if you're working on t-shirts or candles or using vinyl for glassware, look, there's a mug there. You can drop it down to a goblet, do like a wine That looks like a margarita. There's a champagne cocktail. So let's update that. And then you can see how your vinyl will look on the glass. You can also change the size. Just click custom, and then you can adjust the size. Okay, so this left-hand side of the screen is your insert images, which these are images that you've uploaded and saved using a name that will pull up there. Also, all of the Design Space Cricut cartridges are in here. Here's a filter that'll show you, it'll filter your search better. So if you're looking for a spider that's a printable image, if that's in there, you can click on printable. So the first one is all images. The next one is all image sets. So this is going to bring up all the cartridges by name. Then you click on the cartridge, and then it'll pull up all the images on that particular cartridge. Right now I don't have anything set in here, so everything's pulling up. But if you wanted it to filter, or to, if I put cat in here, it's going to show me all the cartridges that have a cat in there. You know what, let's go back because I think I have printable selected. Okay, no, that's fine. Let's do cat. Drop down to all image sets. I know there's way more cats than that, so I don't know why those, maybe that wasn't a good example. Let's try it this way. As you can see, there's a ton more cats, and for some reason that just pulled up 3 cartridges, so I'm not too sure about that. But all images, all image sets, my images. So for this, my images are going to be any subscription images, anything that I've purchased, anything that I've uploaded and saved with the word cat are going to be in here in my images. And then the same for my image set. It's just going to bring up the cartridge set. The next one down is upload image. This is where you're going to be uploading any images outside of Design Space using either Google or a third-party place like Miss K Cuttables or SVG Cuts. And basic upload is going to be, and it tells you right here, to upload a JPEG, GIF, PNG, or BMP. And vector upload is going to be SVGs or DXF files. So if you click on basic upload and continue to next step, this is where you're going to browse wherever you saved your images. So let's click on a blood splatter. As you can see, I've been working on Halloween decorations. So on this is a simple image, and I would just use simple image because it's only one color going on here. And I would delete using this magic wand the white area because I only want the blood splatter to cut out. Had I not clicked on that white and you click on the eye right here, it's going to show you that red cut line, it's going to cut a square, and so you wouldn't see that blood splatter effect. So I deleted that, and when you see the blue and white checkered area, you know that there's nothing there. So that looks good. And right here, so this is a magnifying glass to zoom in, zoom out. This is your undo, redo. This is to crop, and that's your preview of what it's going to cut. This is a magic wand, and this is an eraser. So if there was some splatters in here that I didn't want to cut out, didn't feel like weeding all that, I can use the eraser. You can change the size of the eraser, and I can erase what I need to erase, and then continue. Now, on this screen here, notice it says preserve original image within shape, recommended for printing. If I kept that checked, then it's going to preserve the look. This is kind of a bad example because it's just one color. But if I had an image of something or text or something in there, and I wanted to use print to cut, I would keep this box checked. But because I'm not doing print to cut, I will uncheck it, and it's just going to cut around. It's not going to print anything. So I would click save, and you're going to see that it changed to black because it's just a cut. When you see that it's in color, it's either an SVG or it's going to be a print to cut image because of the way I saved it. When I saved this one, I kept that preserve for printing box checked. So this would print like this, and then it would cut around the helmet, depending on how you cleaned it up when you uploaded it. And then the same for vector upload. You would browse, click on your SVG, save image, and there it is. Add text. It's always going to default to Cricut alphabet. You can start typing. And there it goes and pops up. You can use the corners to drag and change the size, or you can come to your edit panel and change the size here if you wanted to. You can change the letter spacing if I wanted the letters a little close together. Or if I had this on 2 lines, go back here and change the line spacing so that they're a little close together. That one's actually overlapping, but you get the point on what that is. And then if I wanted to change my font, I'm going to go right up here to the top, and you can scroll to whatever you want to change it to. You can type right here in this box if you know the name of the font that you want to use. Also here, right at the top, it says all fonts. You can use that little drop down. It's going to show you all fonts, which is going to be everything that's on your computer and also everything in Design Space. System fonts, these are everything in my computer, excluding all of Design Space images, Design Space fonts. Cricut Fonts is going to be all Cricut fonts. Single layer, so that's any font that doesn't have a shadow or any type of layer when you pull it in. And then also there is the let's go back here. We have has a writing style, and so if you wanted to write on a card or write on something using your Cricut pens, you would drop that down, select that one, and it's going to pull up everything that is a 1-line font. Cricut doesn't have very many. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of selections for single line, but you can find some out there on dafont.com or other font websites. You just have to really look through them and just look at the font itself and see if it's something that would possibly look like a one-line font when using a pen. And if you want to know, I do have probably 5 or 6 fonts that I've found that are on my blog, and I have the name on there and where to find them. And we went over set canvas already, so I'm not going to go over that again. Then further down here is the zoom out or zoom in. And then this button here is the help button, which is going to take you to the Cricut.com website, and it'll show you frequently asked questions. You can select the machine that you're using and just scroll through here. I believe you can even type in a couple of words if you wanted to find something on how to weld. There we go. What does the weld button do? You can read through that. Really, really helpful. So I think that covers that. I think I've covered everything that is in Design Space. I know I didn't go over actual details, but at least you kind of know how to maneuver, how to get to certain tools, what they do. And then in my next video, I will go over more details, especially in this layers panel. And this is going to show you, there we go, I just wanted to highlight everything. I'll show you how to use the slice tool, how to use the weld, how to flatten, how to attach, and how to contour. And when using flatten, that's basically going to be using print to cut, so I'll go over that too. So I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks!